What's up, weirdos? So, I had a lot of fun making the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights video last week that I decided, why not make one about Knott's Scary Farm? It's never too early to get started in a spooky season. So, let's conquer Knott's Scary Farm. So we're probably not going to hear much about Knott's Scary Farm until probably after Midsummer Scream, which is in August. This is all my opinion, what I think should go, what should stay, and what should be coming this year. So let's run down what was 2018's Knott's Scary Farm. So with the mazes that they had last year was Trick or Treat Lights Out, The Depths, which was the new one last year, Dark Entity, which was the other new one last year, Paranormal Inc.,
You're all going to die. What?
Dark Ride, Red Barn,
Keep moving! You're next!
Shadowlands,
I have lived my life by the sword, and now I must die by the sword.
Special Ops Infected, Pumpkin Eaters. Now that's all the mazes that they had last year. Now let's talk about the scare zones they had last year. They had, of course, Ghost Town Streets, Carnival, Forsaken Lake, which was the new one last year, and the Hollows. I mean, they had something in Fiesta Village, which was a party, but that's not a scare zone. That's a whole different category. And then they had a few different shows that they had last year that I didn't really get to see last year. I was too busy going through the haunted houses and scare zones. So Knott's Scary Farm usually has a thing where mazes usually stay around 3 to 5 years. After that, they usually change them up. So let's talk about what mazes I think are safe this year. The Depths. Of course it's going to stay this year because it was really good last year and it was brand new last year, so they're not going to take it out. Dark Entity, of course, because it was brand new last year. I just think they're going to change it up a little bit because they were trying too hard to go for the science fiction part of it last year, and it just lost the scariness. It just didn't seem that scary. It just seemed too bright, and I mean, I got the storyline, but it was just too much of a story that it wasn't that scary. Another one that I think is going to stay this year is the Dark Ride. It's been running for the last 3 years, and it's been popular every year. So I think they're going to keep that one. And Pumpkin Eaters. Pumpkin Eaters was popular the last few years too, and it fits perfect with the Hollows scare zone. So I don't see them taking that one out. Let's talk about mazes that might stay, that might not stay. They're 50-50. I'm not sure if they're going to stay or not. Paranormal Inc., since they added a new ending last year to shake it up, I think that it's going to have at least one more year of Paranormal Inc. because it's a very popular maze. It's very themed, and with that ending that they had last year where you walk through the doctor's office, it was that part was amazing. I've never seen something like that in a haunted house. I think Shadowlands is up in the air too because it's been popular, but it has ran for a very long time. I'm not sure if they're going to keep it or not. I wouldn't see them trying to take it away. If they don't take it away this year, it'll be taken away next year. Now let's talk about mazes that I think should go, and they probably are going to go. Red Barn. Red Barn should go. It's run its course, and I just don't think it's that great anymore. We walked through it, and it was probably my least favorite maze of the other than Dark Entity, because Dark Entity wasn't really scary, but it would probably be bottom 2 mazes I went through last year. It just, a hillbilly and a red barn, it just seemed like lazy theming because it is inside of a red barn. With that being said, taking out that one and adding a whole, maybe adding something like Gunslinger's Grave that they had a few years ago, where they had cowboys running around with that looked like zombies running around. It was really good. Something like that would be a good replacement for Red Barn. Now let's talk about scare zones. I think they're all great. Forsaken Lake was okay. I think this year, coming from after its first year, it's going to be a lot better this year. Forsaken, because like the Hollows, the first year it was okay, but last year was amazing. Like, I had fun actually in the Hollows scare zone last year. It just reminded me a lot of Ghost Town Streets. So maybe it being its second year at Forsaken Lake, that'll be a lot more better. Maybe a little bit more lighting because it was kind of dark, and probably a little less fog. Maybe more fog. I always like fog. And then Carnival, I think they should add a little bit more to it. It just seemed like, I mean, I like clowns personally. Clowns are my favorite about Halloween season. But it just seemed dull. It just seemed like clowns just running around scaring people. It just didn't seem like the storyline was there at the scare zone. They should add something. Maybe change it up to maybe something that themes a little bit better with Dark Ride, or maybe just add more props. Just like maybe 2-3 more props, maybe a little fog, and make it a lot more scarier and better. It is a really bright area, so maybe adding fog would make it seem a lot more scarier, or make it more of a theme of a carnival that's been run by scary clowns. And Ghost Town Streets, I have nothing to complain about that. That's the best scare zone I have ever walked through. So I wanted to add a little bit to this. So this year will be probably the last year that we will see the area where Trick or Treat, The Depths, Dark Entity, and Paranormal Inc. will be. Knott's Berry Farm is rumored to expand Ghost Town, Calico Ghost Town, back that way. So that's why I didn't really say much about them taking out any of those mazes over there, because it'd be dumb to add a brand new maze in that section just for it to be all demolished the next year. So pretty much all those mazes are probably safe this year. Let's talk a little bit about the future. What would happen when that area gets demolished? That's a big area. Those mazes over there are usually the top mazes of the whole event. So what will they do instead? Well, before I said Gunslinger's Grave, it used to be like right in the front section of, like right next to Silver Bullet. I feel like they should put a maze back over there. It's a dead area, and it just seems like a good place. It would liven that area during the event. I also read somewhere that they used to put random like mazes through Fiesta Village, through the area. I wouldn't be against that idea. I mean, the dance party last year was not that great, and it's not a big loss if we take out that dance party. And then maybe, I know this is probably a long shot, but maybe put a maze where they, like the very first maze of Knott's Scary Farm, when it's Knott's Berry Farm Haunt, like the very first one, they used to put it like through like side of the buildings in Ghost Town, like right in the middle of the scare zone, which would be like awesome, because one, you can't really see where you're going, and then accidentally walking through a maze, that would be amazing. And then we can't not talk about Knott's Scary Farm without talking about the hanging. I am excited to see what they do this year. I knew last year they got a lot of backlash for having Logan Paul in it. I feel like Halloween events always need a comedy show like that. That's something that makes fun of pop culture, and I hope that never gets taken away. I'm all about the mazes in the scare zone. So that's pretty much all I have to say for 2019 Knott's Scary Farm. Once we start hearing more information about the event, I will make a video about it, because If it has to do with spooky, I'm all for it. I'll make the video like that. Comment down below what your predictions are for Knott's Scary Farm 2019. What would you like to see stay? What would you like to see go? What would you like to see added? I hope you guys liked it. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit that subscribe button for more adventures. Also, check out the links at the end of my video for more of me, more of my adventures, and where to find me on the social media, guys. Peace out, weirdos.